Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, and I did a video today on herringbone, and somebody printed out on a piece of paper, and it looked pretty cool. Then I was just kind of playing around, maybe another way to do some things, not particularly a herringbone, but like a lap over. So we're going to make this object 4 inches by 2 inches, just to make it easier. We're going to go ahead and fill it with a light gray, take away the outline by right-clicking. Then we're going to get the interactive fill tool and go from edge to edge. And then we need to add a black to the edge. Now it's going to turn it all black when I turn the other edge on. But then about right in the middle, double-click and get a box, and we're going to go with a light gray. So we're going to get that same kind of pattern color. Let's zoom in a little bit, try to make it a little bit more in the even. You can always go back to the interactive fill tool and move that over. That looks pretty good, but what we're gonna do with a little twist, and I just thought I'd show you another way, we're gonna take a 2-inch line, make it 2 inches long, and that's black. We're gonna actually make it something, what is 1 point, for some reason it comes up RGB. Now, because we wanted RGB, I'm gonna hit the plus key on the keyboard, and I'm just gonna nudge it over just ever so slightly. I'm using somebody else's file. I need to set my duplicate distance on 0, 0, and this is a prime example of why. Control D, and then just hold down the control button and just move it over ever so slightly. But we're gonna make that line a light gray. So we're going to take both these lines now, select them both, go up to Effects and Blend, and we're going to blend them 299 times, I think is the most you can go. So we got that. I am going to go ahead and break the blend apart because that'll help us later. I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate. While holding down the control button, I'm going to mirror it to the other side. And you see we get some sort of rod looking thing. It's just a different way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and group that together, and I'm going to put it right on the edge of this, and then I'm going to select both this, and I'm going to make this back to 4 inches because the scale doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and group that together with Control G. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 4 inches, probably the easiest way to do things. Control D and move it over. And see what it's doing, it's putting let me get rid of that picture. It's putting it every other one. Now you could actually take away, if we ungroup it all, we might not want that edge on the end, so we can delete it. Now I'm gonna group it again, Control G, and I'm gonna put it back to 20 inches. So now it's all spaced out evenly. Now I'm going to set my nudge factor on 2 inches. And I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, move it down and over. Now I can Control D and nudge it twice down. Control D, and it does it automatically. I'm going to go one more. So what it's doing, to me, it makes it look like there's a bar between them. They're kind of fuzzy, but it's a bar, giving a little bit better effect. I'm going to select it all, Control G. I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page, which it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to grab my rectangle tool, and I'm going to go from right there to that corner down to this corner. I am going to select everything and go to the intersect tool and intersect that out. Now there's a lot going on because it's so much there, but it's done it. And then we can nudge it over. I didn't move my nudge factor. I just hit the nudge key, which is the right arrow key quite a bit. And move it over by hand. To me, it kind of looks like like a rod is going over and under, giving it the shadow. Now, somebody asked me today how you would print this in 3D. First of all, I would never try anything that large. That would take forever in 3D. but you can make it quite a bit smaller. Doesn't really change anything because you don't want a 3D just, I don't know about all lasers, but in an Epilogue print driver under advanced, there's a 3D setting. Now I always go to bitmap and convert it to a bitmap and convert it to grayscale. And what that does, I don't really know when you're printing in 3D, but it kind of fuzzies it up and makes it look really like 3D. Anyway, just another little tidbit of information. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.